Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a very special edition of Off the Leash. We've been doing this show now for a week and a half in the evenings at 8 o'clock. It's been kind of talk showy, late nighty, and we thought we'd have some fun today and do an afternoon version where we focus on the Neptune Theatre School. One of the greatest parts of the work we do at Neptune is all the educational work we get into through the theatre school. We tour shows, we run classes. They're going to tell us more about it, more than I know. I am a huge fan of the theatre school. So let's start by bringing in Julia Topple and hopefully Laura Caswell, who's had a couple of computer issues in the last couple of minutes trying to get in. But let's start with Julia. Are you there? I can see you, Julia. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you.
That's a very lovely painting you've got behind you. What is that?
Thank you. It's just Walmart's finest. I've had it for a few years, just like a triple panel accent piece.
Very nice. And what's cool is doing this, I get to see inside everybody's homes where I don't normally get to go. So I'm going to see if I can bring Laura in. I think she might be on her phone now. Let's give it a go. Hi, Laura Caswell.
Is it working?
Yay.
It works.
Yay. Well, my computer doesn't like me today. I texted Julia earlier telling her that. She can attest to me saying that.
Right.
Yes.
We're having a day.
It's good to see you both. Now, first off, before we begin, how are you both doing with this situation, with the isolation? You're hanging in?
Yeah, I think I'm having the most fun just because I get to stay home and cook and watch TV and have long baths and work from home. And it's pretty much everything I would be doing except for taking the bus into work every day. So the only thing I'm really missing out on is getting to see coworkers and students and things like that. That's the hardest part, but everything else is pretty easy.
Laura, are you doing okay?
I am. I mean, I live alone regularly, so I'm used to alone time. I am finding Wednesdays, which is today, the hardest days of the week. I start with optimism, then I get stressed out. Then to Wednesdays, I'm up here. And then by the end of the week, I come down. So it's been so interesting just trying to figure out how to do so much virtually and digitally.
Yeah.
But we're having fun with the challenge, I got to say.
Can you tell me a little bit, Laura, about what the theatre school has been up to since we all closed down? What's been the activity?
Well, a lot of correspondence, calls and emails with parents, teachers, and staff. We've had one Zoom staff meeting as well, just catching up, making sure everybody's okay, trying to assess how and if we can help, brainstorming ideas. Otherwise, myself, I've just been doing a lot of online sessions and information sessions, trying to get ideas, trying to get information to pass on to my staff, to pass on to my parents, to pass on to my students. And finally, we've been creating these awesome challenges. So I created this Theater Kid Challenge. It's 14 days. It's approximately 80 pages of at-home theater activities for kids under 12. I mean, you could do it if you're older, but that's draft one. Hopefully from this point, we can add some more interactive video or audio elements, but that's been fun to create. And trying to think of activities that people could do by themselves or safely from home has been a fun challenge for me. And Julia has hers.
Yeah, I created a performer challenge. So that's for mature students to adults. And each day we post a scene from a famous movie, and it's your job to recreate that scene either in part or in its entirety from home using costume pieces, props, set, just from what you have at home. So we've had a couple of entries which are really fun. One of our students actually did yesterday's challenge, which was Jaws, and she put shark fins on her cat and reenacted the famous "we're going to need a bigger boat" scene, and it was absolutely amazing. We've also had people internationally doing it. I say that, it's my sister is doing them from Sweden, and she's partnering up with her friend who's more locally based, and they're just doing back and forth putting the videos together. And it's very, very fun to see how creative people can get from home.
So what some people watching this might not know, of course, you guys run the theater school department of our organization, but both of you are very active performers as well. Julia, you've seem to have been in a couple of shows recently. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I was lucky enough to be cast in 2 shows in this season at Neptune for 2019-2020. So I got to do Pleasureville, which is a new work by Ellen Denny. It's amazing, 3-hander. I got to work with some incredible talents. Annie Valentina, who is an amazing director, really did an amazing job bringing the story to life. That was very fun to do. And then also did this like little, small play by some guy named Jeremy Webb called Peter Pan. And that was really a dream come true for me, because the first shows that I saw at Neptune were on the main stage, and I was really always touched by the musicals. And so it was my first opportunity getting to do a musical on the main stage. And so that was just like a little tear on the first opening night bows, which was pretty awesome. But yeah.
I did actually upload a picture of you in that show, and it's disappeared out of the holding. So, but I do have a couple of other shots here. There's It's a Wonderful Life a few years ago on the main stage. Look at that. Is that you?
That's me and Taylor Long in Les Mis when we did that in 2008.
I'm just going to peek around the picture here to get a good look. Yeah, look at that. Sorry, Laura, you covered up at the moment. And then this one, looking very dramatic in spring. I love Spring Awakening.
I do too. It was so much fun. Yeah, that was with the Musical Theater Foundation program, which was amazing. Chuck Homewood was leading that. I basically came home from university and was like, Chuck, I need to keep training. And he was like, why don't you just do this program? It's amazing. And there was acting, singing, dancing training. It's kind of like what the prep program has been turned into.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of did that backwards, like after I went to school. But yeah, the final show was Spring Awakening, and it was awesome.
So Laura, you and I have appeared on stage a couple of times, at least a couple of times. And I think there's one photo. I actually posted this on Twitter earlier because it's one of my favorite photos.
I love this photo too.
You know which one it's going to be, don't you?
I do.
That's tell us what that is, Laura.
That's from Wizard of Oz, which was one of the first shows I ever did at Neptune, and which was where I pretty much really got to know and meet. I mean, I think I'd met Jeremy prior to that, but it was the first show we ever did together, and that was from 2010.
Yeah.
So
2010.
and that was my first Neptune witch, and not my last Neptune witch.
No, you've made a bit of a habit.
Yes.
Of being. Is it 3 now or 2? How many have you done?
I've done 5 Neptune witches. And
what?
1 egg. Yeah.
Which one is this then?
Well, that's Into the Woods.
That's Into the Woods.
Version 1 and 2, like before she's magically transformed.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, I've been a green witch 3 times. 3.5. 3 times on the Neptune stage. So, except for I haven't done Elphaba, but I'll be too old. I'll be Granny Elphaba. Never do it yet.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good for me to know, as the person that casts Neptune shows, that you've got that niche market kind of covered. So,
well, one of my special skills is a witch cackle, and hilariously, some of the students here at Neptune know that, and sometimes ask me to do it for them. So, that wasn't it. That was just Laura laugh. But
I actually didn't know it was a witch cackle. I thought that was just your laugh.
Well, it's just up a lot of notches.
Okay, so how do you see your place as the people that run the theater school during these tough times and over the next few weeks? Tell us what's been canceled. Tell us what we're hoping to get to. What can you share?
I'm just going to say definitely keeping the community is our main goal, and trying to support parents and students in this time. Everybody's busy. Everyone's trying to figure things out. So, we haven't rushed to do too much because we're trying to figure out what people need. And with that, please tell us what you need. You can just email us at school@neptunetheatre.com and just let us know some of the things. We do plan to do some online classes for people who are interested. Particularly, we think some of the musical theater and monologue audition work could work well online. Trying to host some little fun activities at home sessions. But most importantly, just trying to make sure people have a way to keep expressing themselves and keep their community. I don't know if Julia wants to add to that. Oh, I do want to say one more thing before passing on. We were already planning on working on this project called Climate, which is about climate change. It's spelled CLIMBIT, Climate. And will be one of our touring shows for the high schools. So that was already going to be a workshop of individual work and trying to get inspired by the youth. So this is the perfect time for us to be reaching out, working with people, giving people prompts to create. So we're going to also be working on that.
Awesome. Yeah, I know that we've got our kids on a schedule right now where we're trying to homeschool plus juggle work, both of us here. And we've itemized the day, and there's a big old 1.5 hour called creative time chunk. So I think we'll be taking advantage of what you're suggesting and supplying. So thank you. Thank you so much.
No, and that's what we want. So please, parents and students, reach out to us and let us know what you need.
Yeah.
Julia, what else do you want to add? Sorry, I feel like I kidnapped that whole bit. Sorry.
No, it's great. Something else that we are doing is a YPCO takeover right now. So some of our YPCO students have been doing a takeover on that Instagram account. And they're doing a fantastic job. It's great to see them. And I think just bouncing off of what Laura said about community and continuing to connect with people is that we just really want to show our students and teachers our faces and have that conversation going. So I know something we want to do coming up is have like a little hi, hello sort of video from our teachers that we can send to our students just to give them a bit of normalcy, because we run classes from ages 18 months to 18 years, and then we have our adult programming. So there's a lot of different students, and they want to know that their teachers are okay and that we're thinking of them, and we constantly are. So we're still emailing parents different strategies and techniques. We're emailing about the challenges that we have going, and just trying to keep that communication open with our staff as well.
That's great.
I would just also say, teachers of the education system, we're trying to find ways to reach out to you and help you in this time as well. So if you have any ideas or strategies, feel free to reach out to us. We know everyone's trying to create curriculums from home, and we're happy to help or share or anything we can do.
And what's the best way of them getting hold of you, Laura?
I would say email school@neptunetheatre.com, mostly because it's easy to remember. And otherwise, you can follow us on our Facebook or Instagram and message us through any of those apps as well.
Awesome. Well, look, you guys have been doing for years amazing work in our community. So I thank you as a parent of kids that come to your classes, and I thank you as an audience member but I also thank you as your boss, one of your bosses. It's so good to see your faces. I miss us all not being in the building together. It's so strange. If just very quickly, if you could give one very brief message out there to all of the theater school students that you know and love that are watching right now.
Oh my gosh. I just keep creating. This is a perfect time to let those ideas flow and go with them.
Yeah. Julia, anything?
I would just say, I'd ask a question to all our theater school students. I would say, hey, Neptune, how do you feel? And they would understand that.
Okay. That's a bit of an in-joke, isn't it?
It's the camp cheer. It's the camp cheer.
Yeah.
I knew that.
We'll do that online sometime too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's been great having you here. Thanks for coming by. Now I'm going to throw you out of the studio right now because we have to make room for the other 4 guests that are going to join us for the next few minutes. So thanks for being here. You can stick around in the green room and watch if you want. So let's say goodbye to Julia. And I'm just going to scroll this down to say goodbye to Laura. Now we have 4 theatre school students who are going to pop in and have a quick chat. Let's welcome Ethan, Emma, Brooke, and Zac. Look at that. I managed to do it. How are you 4?
Good.
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 I'm really great.
I'm glad you're really great, Zac. I also noticed that Zac has actually arranged a lighting designer to create a lighting effect to his left. You know, you've got that whole window effect going on.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's beautiful. Look at that. Well done.
You can have bright lighting or dim lighting.
Zac, you are so theatrical.
Oh my
Well
gosh,
done.
thank you so much.
Okay, there's 4 of you. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I do want to hear how you're doing. But first, I want to offer congratulations, because this is, of course, the time of year for a lot of people where they're applying to go on to further education, and in some cases in the arts. Why don't we just fly around the room and see what you 4 are up to? Emma, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Emma. I've been accepted into 2 programs and waitlisted for 1. I'm not quite sure where I'm going yet, but I've been accepted into Randolph, AMDA, and I'm waitlisted for Sheridan. So thank you. So I'm waiting to hear back from some schools, but yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Ethan, what's up with you?
I'm going to, I got accepted into Dalhousie, and I want to do the theater program there so I can start and branch off into directing. So I'm coming for your spot, Jeremy.
You know what? That's exciting. That's very exciting. I need people to come for my spot, because I'm getting on a bit. And maybe we can coincide you being ready to take my seat with you being done. Brooke, what's your plan? What's going on?
I applied for like 10 schools, and I was accepted to Sheridan College for musical theater, and I'm going. So that's really exciting.
Yeah. That is good. And Zac, what about you?
I applied to 2 voice schools and Sheridan for musical theater, and I am going to Sheridan with Brooke. So we're going to be together for the next 4 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Are you going to get fed up with each other? No.
Well, to be determined.
We'll see.
TBD. I got a bunch of comments coming in. I'm just going to see what they are here. Oh, look, we've got some applause for you. Ryan says, woo. Garrett Barker, who's one of our technicians at the theater, also applauds your lighting design, Zac. So there we go. And other people are sending all kinds of messages. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
So what is it? How are you doing in this situation? How are you keeping busy and keeping sane?
I mean, not gonna lie. Oh, sorry.
No, you can go first. That's fine.
I was just gonna say it's been like very difficult, and I think everyone can attest to that. I find it's hard to get motivated sometimes, just because there's a mindset that we all have that like, oh, we're in self-isolation, there's something going on, we can't do anything. But I try and listen to my dad as much as I can, and he always says we have to think about what we can do and not what we can't. So that's kind of the mindset that I've been trying to have. Other than that, I mean, like, I've just been trying to keep busy as much as possible.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. And good for you for listening to your dad. I just sounded so old. All right. Brooke, what about you?
Well, I mean, I've simultaneously been up to everything and nothing. But I mean, most importantly, I've been washing my hands and staying home. I mean, a lot of us had to do a ton of stuff. Like, we had to prepare some audition videos while stuck at home, which was a very unique task, considering that like all the resources we usually have access to aren't really here. Right. But we all made out fine, which is really great. I've been working a lot on scholarships, practicing like music theory, since I've got an exam that got moved to online, keeping up with friends because it's so easy to feel disconnected, but we don't have to be lonely. So
yeah. I wonder, Emma, can you tell me a little bit about over the last few years? Well, tell us how long you've been coming to Neptune Theatre School, associated with Neptune, and what that community means to you, and what it means to you now, even during these times of isolation.
Well, I started Neptune Theatre School like doing the summer camps when I was like younger. Then I took a little break and I joined YBCO in 2017 with my side of the country. And then I have been keeping on with it for the past 3 years, like all through high school. It's definitely the best thing that's like happened in my life to me. And I think it's shaped me into such a wonderful, I'm not a wonderful performer, sorry. But it's just been a really wonderful community that's shaped me as a performer. And it helped me kind of, just become involved in ways that other than performing. So kind of the back parts of the theater in terms of like media advertising, writing, like all of that stuff. So helping me kind of discover new interests I had within the theater community that I didn't know I had before. So it's been amazing. It's been wonderful.
And I know that a lot of you teach as well. Ethan, I've seen you around a lot. In theatre school on Saturday mornings, and I've lost you. Your mic muted for a second. Ethan, what does the theatre school mean to you?
Theater school, it really like a bunch of opportunities, I find. And so when I started theater school, it opened my eyes to more of what is like theater. And so it's not just like acting, there's like directing components, you can teach in components, and you can learn so much from it. And like now currently throughout this isolation thing, I've been teaching myself how to do the piano so that I can be a better teacher for my students. And so I find that is a positive way from the theater, I think. Yeah.
Amazing. I have to ask you, do you guys all get on with each other? Is it like, is everyone, you're all friends, right?
we hate each
Yeah.
other. Yes.
That's amazing. And so, I know that from memory all those years ago that these are friendships that will last a lifetime. Of course, if Zac is going to theatre school with someone and is apparently not sure whether they're going to get on, if you could send a message out now to some of the other theatre school kids that are watching, maybe some of the younger ones, what would that be? Words of encouragement.
Just go first.
I'll go. It's on the spot, but just keep getting involved in any way you can with your community, because so many opportunities just come out of nowhere. Usually where you least expect is where they come from. So just take every opportunity you can to get better, and don't let the bad days get to you. Just keep trucking along.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank
Good
you.
advice. Anyone else want to throw anything in?
Yeah, really just like seize every opportunity that you can. You'll learn so much from it, and it's always going to be a blast, especially if it's done at the Neptune Theatre School. So,
Promo.
Thank you for all being here. I'm so excited to see your faces. We love it when you guys are rehearsing. You usually rehearsing at the end of the corridor where my office is, and so I get to hear you singing, and all the school kids, students singing down there and getting ready to perform. It's kind of sad that we don't get to have that for a little while, but I have no doubt that we will again. I just noticed a whole bunch of messages came in on the Facebook. Hold on. Oh, Laura Caswell, who was here. Yeah, we do indeed do relaxed performances at Neptune Theatre, where we pay attention to those people that have requirements that mean that flashing lights or loud sounds aren't such a pleasure for them. And Laura is determined to get the last word. Oh, Gina Thornhill's here. So thanks for being here today. It's been lovely to chat with you and catch up a little. I'm going to let you go and tell you to have a wonderful rest of your day, and good luck with the fall and with getting to those schools. Do you all start in the fall? Is it all starting this year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great.
Hopefully.
I can't wait to hear tales of how it's going when you come back for Christmas break. So let's say thank you to, I'm going to push them out of the studio as I say thank you to them. So Brooke, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Eva, thank you very much. Emma, thank you for being here. And just going to scroll a little to get to Zac. And there we go. Thanks a lot, Zac.
Thank you.
So, folks, thanks for being here. It really is great that people are tuning in and watching. I did spot one question earlier that I just wanted to get back to. Mary Beth Roper is asking, will there be any more plays this season? The season that we are currently in at Neptune has, in fact, been cancelled or postponed due to the outbreak. We cancelled a number of shows, and we have postponed Billy Elliot, our season closing musical, which was, in fact, scheduled to open next week on Friday. So we're currently working on rescheduling things and getting things sorted out, and we will be letting you know very soon, as soon as we can. Neptune will be back. If you are able to support the theatre school or Neptune Theatre in general, we would welcome your assistance. You can go to neptunetheatre.com to find out how to do that. Every little bit of help, of course, keeps Neptune alive during these dark times. But of course, most importantly, we want you to stay healthy, look after yourselves, look after each other, and wash your hands and keep your distance. And most importantly, support those frontline people that are making our lives slightly more bearable at this time. Thanks for tuning in. I'm back this evening with another episode, an evening episode of Off the Leash, and I will see you then if you can tune in. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.